He was a phenom, ticketed for greatness at an early age. And he exceeded all expectations.
There was no better player in the 90s.
But his body betrayed him.
He was in debilitating back pain.
Didn't know if I was going to walk again.
Mario has Hodgkin's. Unless you really understand what he was going through, you can't fathom what he was capable of achieving.
Just a routine mid-season game against division rival Philadelphia. But the game took on special meaning when Pittsburgh's star center made a surprise return to the lineup.
There is the hand for Mario Lemieux, 66 of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The team they're energized just to have him in the locker room, and then to see him go out and perform the way he performed was really uplifting for the whole team.
6 weeks earlier, Mario Lemieux had asked a simple favor of the Penguins team doctor.
I had a lump in my neck that had been growing for a few weeks.
Dr. Jones called me and he said, are you sitting down? And I said, well, yeah. And he said, you're not going to believe this, but Mario has Hodgkin's.
I left the doctor's office and had about a 25-minute drive, and I had to stop a few times on the side of the road because I couldn't see where I was going because I was crying so much and scared. And then I got home. I just couldn't tell Natalie that I had cancer. So I was walking around the house and acting normal until, it all came out and started crying.
Mario immediately began radiation therapy. 6 weeks, 5 days a week.
It really makes you feel tired. You don't feel like eating too much, so you're losing weight.
He was obviously weakened both mentally and physiologically by that whole process.
The last day of my treatment here in Pittsburgh, I got on the plane in the morning and met the team in the afternoon in Philadelphia and played that night.
For somebody to be not on skates for weeks, going through the trauma of being diagnosed and treated for cancer, and then playing a professional hockey game, it is just an unheard of thing.
Lemieux comes in, shoots and scores! Mario Lemieux!
He's not a normal person. He's up above everybody. He's got more inner strength than anybody.
Mario Lemieux was born and raised in Villemard, a French-speaking working-class suburb of Montreal. His parents still live in the simple one-bedroom apartment where Mario and his 2 older brothers grew up.
Mario comes from a very modest household. I couldn't get over it when the first times I went over there and saw the 3 boys were sleeping in the same room. Mario was the smallest one at that time, at 15. He was like 6'2", maybe 180 pounds for sure.
The Lemieux lived down the block from St. Jean de Matha Church. Every winter, the church's large grass field would be converted into an ice hockey rink.
Hockey was everything when I grew up, especially for a young kid growing up in Montreal. Watching the Montreal Canadiens in the late 60s and 70s and winning all those cups was everything. I started skating when I was 3 years old, and as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be on the ice and play the game.
He had a natural talent from the moment he put his skates on. He was 3, 4 when he put the skates on for the first time. He didn't even fall. He put on his skates, and that was it.
When I was pretty young, Pee Wee Bantam, I think that's when people realized that I had a special talent, with all the numbers that I was putting up, scoring a lot of goals every game.
We played for the Villemard Hurricanes. That was a big machine in those days. Everybody in Montreal used to know us.
I was brought up in the same district as Mario in Montreal. But when I came home in the summertime, all my friends would always tell me about, you got to see this kid, you got to see this kid.
I was reading a local French language paper, and there was a little blurb where Scotty Bowman mentioned that he had heard about this incredible young hockey player called Mario Lemieux from Villemard. I went to see him play, and he didn't know I was there. After the game, I ran to the phone and I called my boss at the time, Gus Bedali, who represented Wayne Gretzky at that time. And I told Gus, I said, I found the next Wayne. He says, Bob, if you ever tell me that again, you're fired. So I said, listen to me. I said, I think I found the next Wayne. I told him again.
When Mario turned 15, he joined the Laval Voisin of the elite Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Bob Perno arranged a meeting.
He says, if I break Guy Lafleur's records in scoring, he says, what kind of contract do you think you can get me? And I looked at him and I said, Mario, I promise you that if you break Guy Lafleur's records of 288 points in one season, and you do what I think you can do, you'll be a millionaire at 18 years old.
The first year he joined the Voisin, there were pretty good crowds, but he really got big during the second year when they started winning. The third year was incredible. Crowds of 5,000, 6,000 in Laval, a full house. And then we would play on the road in Quebec. Full houses everywhere we went. It was incredible.
That third year of junior hockey, that was his draft year. And he started the year like a house on fire.
I was there one particular night. I think he got 10 or 11 points on one night.
Just a total domination. I mean, the long reach, the ability to hold players off, the ability to control the puck in traffic, the ability to shoot the puck.
You could put a puck in a place a dime would only fit.
Then in the spring, there was Guy Lafleur's record. Mario needed a total of 5 points to get that record of 288 points in a year.
By coincidence, the Edmonton Oilers were in Montreal that evening. Wayne Gretzky heard about Mario's run at the record and attended the game.
Mario blew the record out of the water. He had, I think it was 5 goals and 6 assists. And I brought Wayne down to the locker room so that Wayne could congratulate him. After that game, he stuck his head out of the dressing room and he pulled me over. He went like this. So I went over and I said, yeah. He says, remember that promise you made me? He says, I did my job. Now you do yours.
People don't realize how much of his career he played at a reduced state.
It was something he had to live with every single moment.